Hey guys, welcome back. I'm gonna go ahead and set up this mentoring session real quick and we'll get started. Just a couple of things here to update. All right, that's good. So let me get this link sent out to the mentoring group. So, all right, so we'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. But if there's any questions that you guys have already, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't really have much on the agenda for today. It seems like everybody's doing great, so I don't think there's much that we need to cover. The breakout V3s are pretty simple and straightforward. So yeah, if there's anything specific that you guys want to cover, feel free to pop into the chat. Otherwise, I think for the most part, all I'm really going to be covering today is going to be the breakout V3s for this week because that's kind of all that we have to cover. So, all right. Let's see. Nick is asking, how do you put the watermark back on the chart? Yeah, so to put this watermark right here where it says which symbol you're on, go to your settings. So just go down here to the settings button, go to settings, go over to canvas and turn on the watermark right here. So when you have it off, it's not on there, but you turn on the watermark and it shows up right there on your chart. That's how you get it on there, Nick. Yeah, no problem. I know there's like little things like that that people get confused about or can't find it. And I've been doing this for so long, so it's like second nature to me. I don't even have to think about it. But all right, guys, welcome everybody. This is our mentoring session for today. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far. I'm not sure if anybody else is planning on joining in, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't really have much to cover today aside from the trade that we took this week. But they were pretty much straightforward. So like, for example, we'll go back to like Monday, we'll look at the PV3 that lost. I think it was a pretty obvious loss. That was a trade that we were actually contemplating not to take, but we just got to take the strategies as they come up and we took it. So we'll go back to that trade there. We'll go over to the 5th, 6th, 7th, and then today. I'll add the results for today as well. Today's the 8th, 24. I don't think I put a timestamp on that entry for today, but I will. I think we know where it was. Yeah, 740. Happened at 740. It was for a buy entry, win 25. So our win rate just went up with that entry for today. So our win rate for the month of March so far is 83.3% win rate. That's actually really good for a one-to-one strategy because at that point, you're basically 33% in profit for the month if you're doing it by percentages. So pretty solid, pretty straightforward. Let's see, we have one question over here from, let's see, Shannon. Or actually, let me scroll up real quick. Nick said, ended up taking a little bit of our trailing drawdown today since it was higher than profit when you close the trade, only a few hundred down. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, mine too, actually. I just noticed it right now, Nick, because it came up and then it came back down. So it's all good. Same thing for me too. Thanks for mentioning that. I didn't realize that until you said it. So hopefully the trade's just a good trade on, hopefully we have a good trade on on Monday. And then, if you have a win on Monday, it's just going to go back to full drawdown, 5,000. So let's see. Shannon said, learned so much this week. I finally have a good plan to follow and only focus on passing as many PAs as I can afford in a month. I finally learned how to use 10 contracts for one-day trade and walk away. Congrats to all the funded. Yes, we have a lot of funded people in the group this week so far. So if you guys have seen, and you have some more profits here from Cameron. Cameron locked in total profit of 3,091. That's where Cameron. And Terrence over here, his brother, locked in total profit of 799 per account. So well over almost 3,000 for the day. So yeah, looking at the milestones for this week, guys, we have a ton of people who have gotten funded. So we have Alicia over here as well. Let's copy this over, add her to the list. Yeah, you guys did pretty good. This is Alicia. I was just talking about this with a couple of people. It's like, a lot of people were kind of like upset that FTMO is having issues, but I think as soon as he moved over to Apex, everyone started getting funded. So, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise if you think about it, because a lot of people are struggling with FTMO, just YOLOing trades and stuff. And then now that Apex kind of forces you to trade properly, everyone's getting funded, right? Because I feel like Apex kind of forced everybody, like, don't screw around because your trailing drawdown will really screw you. And people were so upset about that. Like, people were like, oh, I don't want to have a trailing drawdown. Everyone's all complaining and shit. And then what happens? Everybody gets funded, right? Because you learn how to trade properly. It's like ATF or Apex, it forces you to trade how you're supposed to. But a lot of people don't realize that. Everyone just wants to make a quick buck, right? They want to flip the accounts right away. But when you trade with Apex, it kind of forces you to do really well. So I'm glad to see everybody here doing well. You guys can see from the milestones, is everybody getting funded almost every day. We had Delicia today funded. We have Rashida, she got another 150K account. We have me over here, I have 2 accounts, 150K. We have Oscar, 150K. We have Kenneth, 150K. Kenneth had another account earlier this week, 150K. We have Terrence, 150K. We have Kenneth. So Kenneth had like 3 accounts that got passed this week. That's crazy, right? Like, who else is doing that? I got to go get my sweater too. I got my Apex sweater that came in the mail yesterday. I didn't go down and get it. But yeah, everybody will probably be getting another free gift this month as well for March, because we're just killing it, guys. It's crazy because I don't know any other group that has, like, we have over 25 people who are getting gifts from Apex. And the only people that get gifts are if you're in the top 100 traders in Apex, like in the world. So in our little community here, we don't even have that many people in our community, but at least 25 of us here or more are in the top traders in all of Apex, which is crazy because there's like millions. I'm pretty sure there's at least hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of traders that are using Apex right now. And we're the select few that are just on top of everybody, right? So I'm happy to see that, guys. If that's what's going on, then like we're obviously doing something right here, right? And I'm kind of glad that we're closing down the group or like shutting off the group, because I don't want a bunch of people doing what we're doing, and it's going to make it harder for us to succeed with Apex, because we're killing it right now, guys. And I'm super proud of everybody here. I'm even proud of myself. I finally got funded on 2 of my accounts, and then I got a couple more on the way. So yeah, great work to everybody here. And it's just, it's all over the place, guys. It's crazy. There's a lot of people that are on Apex, and if anybody here got anything from Apex, then you're doing great. So yeah, if you guys haven't gotten anything from Apex, I'm hoping that you guys are the next people to get it, right? So hopefully we already have like a handful of people who got free stuff from Apex, and then you guys will be next. You have a choice between sweaters, shirts, mouse pads, all that random stuff. There's so many things to choose from. I just chose a sweater, of course, but there's a bunch of other stuff there. So I'll show that off on Monday when we get on the live. So let me scroll up real quick, and then let's see what else we got here. William said, there's things that have helped me lately and over the past few weeks. Apex closes me out on point. It opens me on point. Item 1, above rebuilds confidence. FTMO really irked me regarding that spread differential and broke down his confidence. He's now making so much money. He's in profit on just 1 Apex account in the hundreds of accounts that he's been in. and he's doing crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of profit, William. So like once you have like 20 accounts, it's gonna explode, right? Like for me today, I took that one trade and I got kind of short-handed with my profits, but I still locked in about 2,000 across the accounts there. So yeah, Shannon said I'm blown away by all you guys getting funded. Yeah. And everybody else is next, right? It's gonna keep going. So let's see. Joshua said, so the candle did not need to be the same color as the momentum signal when taking a BB3. It does, Joshua. So the candle, well, the momentum candle doesn't matter. That's the momentum, but the one after it has to match. So like if you get a buy signal, you have to have a green candle after it. So the color of the momentum signal doesn't matter. It just matters the one that follows it. And that's how you would take the entry for the breakout B3. Let's see. Kevin's asking, just curious, why wasn't 3.7? So that was yesterday, 3.7 at 6:30. Here, let's go back to that real quick. So yeah, if you guys have any specific questions regarding the entries, I don't think I should go over all the breakout entries because there's not really much to look at. They're all pretty much straightforward. But if you have a specific question about a breakout or a trade that we took, just let me know and I'll cover them specifics. I think it's going to be a lot easier for us to just do that versus going through every single trade because doing that's going to take forever. So let's see. Yeah, Kevin said there was an entry at 6:30. Let me go back to 6:30 over here. 6:30. Well, the market wasn't open yet at this time, Kevin, because the market opened over here at 6:30. Or actually, that's your question. So yeah, the momentum would have to come up after. Like the entry would have to come up after, but there could be a V1 before. So like for example, the V1 was here, but the market didn't open till like right there. So like this entry came up, but the market wasn't even open yet. So we can't have the entry here because it happened pre-market. The V1's going to happen pre-market, but not the actual entry. So that's why we couldn't have taken this here as the entry for yesterday. But I was watching this during the live, so it just happened super quick. It spiked up like immediately on open or like immediately on a pre-market candle, and that would have been the entry right there if this momentum would have happened after. But mainly you're looking for the momentum to happen on 6:30 or anytime after that. William said, Apex makes me the cash. FTL makes me frustrated, right? Nick said he's up 1,100 on his FTMO stage 2, so he only needs 3.9 to get funded on that one. Yeah, and I'm pretty glad that you guys are able to trade on two different platforms. I mean, I couldn't do it. I know Nick asked me about that, but for me, it's hard because I'm on the live and I'm still doing so much at the same time. Williams said the trailing drawdown makes him a better trader. Yeah, it does, because it kind of forces you not to get greedy and you get out of the trades when you need to. Yeah, Cameron said as well, he said Apex is definitely better for him. And I agree, same with me. Natasha said, I'll hopefully be funded by next week. Gonna go super slow. Yeah, there's no rush with Natasha. Everyone's getting funded. So as long as you get funded, that's your main goal. Yeah, Nick said such a large influx of traders when FTMO shut down, and now even people that I used to see trading on their own accounts are now trading Apex. Yeah, I know, right? It's huge. It's crazy. Josh, yeah. So the momentum candle doesn't matter. It's just the one that's after it. Nick said invalid signals are a bit more risky in his opinion, but they're still entries. Yeah, exactly. They're risky. Like the one from today was a little risky. I wasn't really 100% on the entry, but realistically, the FOMOs were really got me. So I got some FOMO right there, and I was like, man, I need to get into a position, which was I was telling people like not to do. But the entry did come up and it was valid. So from our testing, we're kind of just doing this as the raw entry. So if we need to make changes in the future, we'll make changes. But for the most part, we're just going to be taking them as is because they do work and they do meet our criteria when entering certain trades. Let's see, Vince is asking, what's the difference between one machine and two machine on Replicanto? So it just depends on how many computers you're using. So if you're using one NinjaTrader, then you just have, one machine because you're going to log into that same NinjaTrader every time. If you have two machines, like say, for example, you have your own NinjaTrader and then you have another one, then those would have to have two separate because they have different serial numbers. So your license only works on like one machine, which is like one NinjaTrader platform. which I think you should be fine because I don't think you need like two of them. The only time you need two is like, say for example, if we had like a trading office, right? And we have like 6 computers there, we're not going to use the same entry trader license or the same copier license. Everybody would have to have their own license. So that's what makes it different with machine wise. But yeah, guys, I mean, if there's any specific breakouts that you guys want to see, feel free to let me know. I'll just pull up the screenshots here so I don't have to pull it up on the chart. It's just going to be a little harder for us to pull it up on the chart, but I'll show you guys right here. This is the breakout from Monday. Obviously, this was the trade that, if you guys remember, we were talking about it and I was saying, yeah, I'm more comfortable to take a buy here versus a sell because the thing was so bullish. But we still took the trade anyways because we had to. That's just how the strategy works sometimes, right? Sometimes it's not going to work in your favor and you can't get scared. You got to stick to the trading plan. And we did it, took the loss, moved on from that. And then we went to the next day, which was Tuesday over here, which was a smooth entry. Obviously, this one went straight to our TP. This one spiked to our TP right away. Next one was this one over here on Wednesday, straight to TP. And this is why I'm saying like we don't really need to cover it because they're so straightforward that there's no analysis that really needs to be made. This one over here on Thursday went sideways for a long time. This was because Powell was speaking. So like obviously market was consolidating, and then eventually when he said some good stuff, price spiked up. And that's why that happened on Thursday. And then of course the entry for today right here, where it was a pretty solid entry, but initially I did get a little scared when this thing spiked down. So I was like, damn, I should just waited, or I should have just not have taken it. And then it pushed up and then it kind of went sideways for a bit. The reason with the issue for today was that we were using different contracts and the volatility was kind of all over the place and the movement wasn't the same and pricing was like super different. So that's kind of what threw me off as well. So all right, guys, I don't know if there's any other questions. I know this is a short mentoring session for a week, but I don't think there's much that we really need to cover. It seems like everybody's doing great. Yeah, everybody's doing pretty great. Looking over here real quick. Yeah, everyone has a great win rate. So Song over here is currently at 100% win rate, all wins. We have Natasha here. She's currently at 80% win rate. That's pretty normal. We have Shannon over here, 100% win rate. We have Kevin over here. Kevin is finally making his stride, Kevin. So you're doing pretty good, bro. Last week you were up 63 points. This week you're up 63 points. You're pretty much recouping all of your losses for like the past couple of weeks. And I think if you keep this up and you stay consistent, bro, you'll be back in profit and then consistently in profit moving forward. So this is exactly what we were looking for, guys. So I told you, February is going to be a month where you make a lot of mistakes, and then March, you're going to start to pick it up. And then from there, it's just going to get better and better and better and better as you get better with the consistency. Nikki over here as well. She's currently at 85% win rate. She just passed 2 challenges, or 2 evaluations. So big congrats to Nikki there. We have Vince here, 75% win rate. It's a little lower, but he's taking B1s with it. So that's okay. He's taking more entries. And then we have Maria over here with an 80% win rate. She has pretty much the same thing that I have as well, following the BB3s. So great work right there, guys. Here, let me check these questions over here real quick, just make sure I'm not missing anything. And I'll cover that right now, Eddie. I see your question, so don't worry. I see your question about the PRV. Let's see. Let me just go over here real quick. I want to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Nice, Nikki. So let me put Nikki over here on the milestones too. She just sent me her certificate. Yeah, guys, man, it's a pretty big accomplishment because you'll see like a lot of people are not just getting funded, but also just staying funded, right? So as long as you guys can stay funded and, just keep on what you're doing, you'll be perfectly fine. But no, big congrats over here from Nikki. Yeah, so Nikki over here with a 100, with a 50K account on Rhythmic. Nice work, Nikki. And she has 2 of them now. So, I always got to give praise to you guys for getting this far, because a lot of you guys started with me and had like no idea how to trade, no experience trading, and you guys are now getting funded, getting payouts, all that stuff. I see the Rhythmic is a little different. I've never seen this before. It's kind of slightly different with their design, but no, it's good. Yeah, no, definitely. Nikki said actually passed 2 more today. Oh, so you got 2 more today. Okay, so Nikki is like funded like 3 accounts now, or 4 accounts. So great work right there, Nikki. Yeah, And this is just the beginning. Like once you guys get 20 funded accounts, it's going to be a huge, huge change in lifestyle for you, you know? It's like that meme where it's like you won't know I got rich, but there will be signs. You're going to be killing it like 20 accounts with a ton of profit. Let's see, Song said you caught another high level momentum scalp. Nice Song. Yeah, so Song's like one of the few people that actually still takes the high level momentum scalps. There's still good strategies, especially on a day like this where the volatility is kind of low and it's going back and forth. So yeah, great work right there, Song. Yeah, Nikki said almost a year to date, even looking at a chart. Yeah, so Nikki was brand new to trading. It's been like about a year and she's killed it. You know, I'm glad that Patricia pretty much brought you in because, you know, if she didn't bring you in, you probably would never be here. And I'm glad that you stuck to it because I know it's difficult for you and a couple other people. I know Patricia's brought in a couple other people as well. And not everyone sticks around, right? I'm glad that you stuck around and you're really killing it. Definitely, guys, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. Next at KT meetup this summer, I feel it coming. Yeah. We'll have to go. Is this Kip here? Kip's not here, right? Kip has like a huge or he knows of a huge house over there in Hawaii. Yeah, so we'll see. Kip's been trying to plan that trip for a while now. Like a meetup out there in Hawaii because he was living in Hawaii when he first met me. And yeah, it'd be cool. So we'll see. We'll see when it gets closer to that time. But let me just scroll up real quick. So, okay, Eddie's question is, would you mind going over today's PRB? Tripped me up a bit about the space part. Yeah. So let's go over here to the PRB. PRB happened right over here. Let's go back to 6:30. All right, so 6:30 market open right here. You had to wait for the trend here to confirm first, right? So right here on this candle, this red candle, you see how all the pivots are above the level 4 pivot. Level 4 pivots, this red pivot right here, right? So this candle right here rejected off the pivot. That's going to be step one. We have the rejection right there. Now, the part that you're confused about, or not confused about, but not sure about would be the space, right? So this right here would technically be the space. This wasn't the space that I identified, but this here could technically be the space. The reason why there's space here is because the wick is not rejecting off any of the pivots, right? So you basically have a body here and it's not having no rejections and it's going sideways, right? It's consolidation. I personally didn't see this as space. I saw the next candle as space and I'll show you why. So same thing right here, right? It's the same pattern. It doesn't matter which one you consider space, they're both space because you're looking for consolidation or a range, or not even a range, you're looking for consolidation. So you see right here, Eddie, how this is a consolidation because right here we have the rejection, right? Price is bullish, comes back down, bounces off the pivots. That's the rejection right there. So either of these two candles could be space. For me personally, I think during the live session, this looked like it was rejecting off the pivot. So I was like, okay, this is not the space. This was the space that I saw because this was more clear. You can see the body right here. The pivots are going through the body, but there's no wick rejection off anything, right? So there's no bouncing off structure. It's kind of just going sideways. So right here, it went sideways. And then the next candle was where we had the rejection. This is where it was kind of tricky because this candle closed kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting it to close with the rejection down below because I think it was red initially, right? It was like down here. And then at the last second, it pushed up. So I know there's rejections on both sides, but this here is kind of irrelevant. You don't care about the top rejection because you're looking for a buy here. So with the bottom rejection down here, that's where it happened. And that's where the PRB came up and it went straight to TP, right? It happened so super quickly. So like you had to like literally be watching it. I wasn't even looking at it. Like Kip is the one that mentioned it. It was like PRB came up like super quickly. And I think I was also answering questions at this time. So my focus wasn't necessarily on the charts. But yeah, it came up super quickly and it went straight to TP. And that would have been the PRB entry. So the PRB is still good, guys. Like, you know, people like to shit on the PRB, but the PRB is a good strategy. It's just, it wasn't working with, I mean, there's going to be time periods where strategies don't work. And the strategy's been good. PRB's hit every day this week. So if you took a PRB this week, it's been hitting. And I think it's still a good strategy. If you know how to follow it and you have the patience and the discipline to stick to it, then it's a good strategy. But, you know, it's not for everybody. Like, unless you like really know what to look for. And I kind of like, alluded to like exactly what to look for. Now you're looking for the rejection, consolidation, retracement, rejection, entry. So it's still good. If you guys want to take it, feel free, but it's going to conflict with the breakout V3, so I can't take it, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, I think that's it for that right there. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I think this might be it for this session. I'll be back live later today, guys. If you guys want to hop on, it's not going to be an open mentoring session, but I am doing like a one-on-one session with one of our like special members in the group. He's one of our members from the UK. He can't come on during this time because it's like the time difference is so off. But I'm going to be having some one-on-one mentoring with him. If you guys want to hop on that, I'll be on at 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock today, Pacific time. I'm not going to send the link out because it's a private mentorship with him, but well, I'll send the YouTube link out to you guys in the group, but I'm not going to post it in the public group. So 1 p.m. today, I'll post it in the mentoring group. I'm not sure what questions he's going to ask, but he's a brand new trader. So it's probably going to be super basic questions, but it could be a refresher for you guys if that's something that you guys want to sit in and just listen to. If you guys are free, I mean, if you guys don't have to, it's not necessary, but he might ask some good questions that you guys might not even think of. So let's see, one question over here. Let's see. So Nick said, I want everyone to understand this at a point in time that is very special for K2. I've been in and out of this group since January 2020. I've never seen this much opportunity ever since then. Back then, we were fucking mind blown about making 1K a day off the 1 minute pivot scalps. This is a whole nother level, and just be sure to build yourself slowly. You don't want to be making 30K every 2 weeks right away. Just build it up slow, take one trade at a time. We can be very successful if we just ensure to keep our heads on and keep on taking the strat. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Nick. Like, if you guys started trading with me like back then, like $1,000 was a lot of profit to us. Like, I was making like a couple $100 a day, or maybe even like close to 1,000. It was a lot to us. Now we're making that with like one account, right? So it's a big difference, guys. Like, making a couple $100 back then was like I was like, damn, I could quit my job. If you guys remember, we used to trade Forex back then. I was still working as an attorney. And I was like, I just got to make a couple $100 a day to like cover my salary, and I can quit my job and trade full time. And then the next year happened and I quit my job, right? That was like 2019, 2020. I started making like 500 a day, close to 1,000 a day. And I was like, man, fuck this job. So like, I was like so stressed out at work. And then I finally left. Like, I even made a video of me packing all my stuff up, and I was like, I'm out. And yeah, since then I've been a full-time trader. But yeah, no, back to what Nick said, like we've pretty much multiplied because back then we didn't use a copier, we used one account, and I had like a small like 10K, 15K Forex account. Now we have like almost like, if you have 20 accounts with 150K, you're like basically at 3 mil in trading with Apex. So that's kind of the timeline. And if you guys have been around for the ride, the ride's been pretty crazy. A lot of ups and downs, but way more ups than downs. So it's been pretty solid for all of us. So yeah, guys, I think that's it for this mentoring session. Yeah, thanks for that, Nick. Yeah, I know you've been in and out of the group for a while, and I'm glad that things are really starting to click for you. We talked about this. Like Nick said, that this is going to be his year. This is where it's really going to click for him, and he's going to excel, and he's doing it. So great work, Nick, and great work to everybody here. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up for the week. Pretty good profit. It's a pretty great week for NFP. And I'll be back online about 1 o'clock with Marion with our private one-on-one session. But yeah, if I don't see you guys then, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys back here